Yes, hello and welcome everybody to another Ministry of Dice YouTube video thingamajiggy. Woo!
Woohoo! And
Yeah,
now for something a little bit different.
absolutely. Yeah. So I'm Chris, aka True is the Six. Here's
Um,
Andy,
AKA Andy.
aka Andy, and this is the first of the and now for something a little different. So this is going to be our YouTube video series for anything that doesn't fall under gameplay or doesn't fall under card discussion or team discussion. And really, I'm just going to call it out. My kids, I think your kids as well, Andy, are big fans of watching Minecraft YouTubers.
Yeah, Minecraft, Fortnite.
Yeah, all that malarkey. And my pair were watching one of their favourite Minecraft guys who was doing a video about like hints and tips how to build a certain sort of type of building or whatever. And they were just going through a playlist, and the next video along was a setup video where he selfie style went through and talked his audience through how he's set up. Now, in his world, it was all about PC specs and all that kind of exciting stuff. But I thought, you know what, that's a good idea. I'm going to rob that for our YouTube channel. So here we are, robbing it for our YouTube channel. So this video is called Playing Online, and that's pretty much what it says on the tin. We're just going to do a bit of show and tell around how we go about playing online, because we're massive advocates of the online Dice Masters scene.
Yeah, and it is super easy. So if you have stumbled across this because you are thinking about the prospect of playing online, I hope it helps to show how easy it is to get it set up and ready to go. And we'll see you across the virtual table soon.
Yes.
Actually, it's a real table, isn't it? It's just through the interwebs.
Being communicated by magic pixies who run down cables and things.
Yeah.
Carrying information. So we hope you enjoy our little setup behind the scenes vid. Andy and I play together casually all the time. In fact, most after recording stuff like this, we have a few games just to finish the night off. We both get involved in online Dice Masters tournaments and stuff. So here's our little behind the scenes look at our online Dice Masters setups. Enjoy.
Hi everybody, Andy here to show you my online setup in a special edition of MoD CribZ. There's not really a lot to it. I mean, there's my desk with my camera and my computer and my dice mat. Got plenty of Dice Masters-y bits close at hand. Too many cards there, need to put them away. So setup, what do I need to get going? First, you need your mat on your desk with your team of choice. Pretty straightforward. The monitor there, that will show your opposing team when you're online against someone. Camera, so that camera's just held on that shelf by a movability kind of arm thing, and the camera's on it. Camera itself, if anyone's interested, is actually a Logitech, I think it's 720, so it's not really an HD or a particularly all singing all dancing thing, but does the job when you're playing and getting the image of your mat up over to whoever you're playing. That's just plugged in. You can see the wire going down the back, USB into the back of the desktop. Listening wise, I've got my headset here with the mic on it, and there's the that's just plugged in the front into the mic and headphone ports. I've actually got it set up so that the mic is used on the camera. Seems to work a bit better. But whatever works best for you, and then you just plug them in and there you go. So that's all there is to it. You have no excuse not to get involved. Thank you, goodbye.
Okay, let's start by getting a little bit of the lay of the land here then. So this is the True Mr. Six online Dice Masters Gaming Centre, otherwise known as the Mr. Six's family's dining table. So by day, this is where I, the hashtag competitive wife, and the mini sixes take our meals together. But by night, this is where I collect the tears of my defeated opponents through the magic of digital communication. Or more accurately, this is where my opponents collect my tears from my defeats through the magic of digital communication. So here's the setup. I'll ask you all to very kindly ignore the boxes of Christmas decorations that I've still yet to put up in the attic, even though we are many weeks after Christmas and after much discussion on the subject by the hashtag competitive wife. But here we go. Yeah, so I sit myself at the dining room table. So clearly, as a result of that, I use a laptop so I can take it out and pop it on the table and use it. But many of you may be using desktops. One thing I am not well qualified to discuss is specifications for best quality online gaming in terms of the machine there. However, what I will say is that, largely speaking, all you need to be able to do is rustle up an internet connection. I've then got my webcam and my playmat. So really, fundamentally, as we often say on Facebook and in Discord, all you really need to be able to do is get a webcam pointing at your playmat and you're away. And as you can see, that's the case. I've mounted my webcam over the playmat, going for a full map view there. That's just a choice that I've made. I like to pop my team out so that my opponent can see my cards and my dice count and everything. However, that's not entirely necessary for online play. I know a number of players that I've competed against online who have got their camera, due to limited space of their own, just pointing at the kind of core play area here with the field zone, the attack zone, the reserve pool, etc., etc. And that can easily be mitigated by getting a Dice Coalition team builder link to your team, or a screenshot of your team on the Sidekick app or something fired over to your opponent prior to the match so they can see what cards and dice you've got. But as we all know, this is where the action really takes place. So there's my camera going for a full map view. I'm using a Logitech C920, which tends to be sort of recognised as the best for this type of thing, but I had previously used a Logitech 270. I might rustle up some examples there. So there's my Logitech. There's also the kids' toy boxes in the dining room in the background. We should take a moment maybe to, if you can just see there, my Lego Yellow Submarine in the cabinet there with my wine glasses, very important part. But what you can also see is that I have mounted my camera over the top of my playmat by using an old microphone stand from back in my days of a misspent youth as a local rock and roll star. Some of you may or may not be aware that I've been the driving force behind many an influential British rock group, the least of which is the So Solid crew. So there we go, and that's pretty much it. There's a few other little tidbits, I suppose, to take note of. I've got my lamp there, adding a little bit of extra lighting because of that can often help image quality and such like. I have, the way the lighting is, the spotlighting is in the dining room, it can sometimes cast shadows over the playmat, so I'm trying to mitigate some of that, although clearly it's not got rid of all of it. I sit here where I can take a look, I can see my opponent's side of the Google Hangout or the video call. Here on my screen, I've obviously got my playmat where I can carry on playing here. Let's take a brief moment's pause to examine the fine quality, although it looks like there's a bit of felt tip there, the fine quality of this kind of autumnal pattern that's on the Mr. Six Family tablecloth. A great choice by the hashtag competitive wife there, I'm sure you'll all agree. I myself am quite an autumnal colour sort of guy. But actually, while I'm down here, I've got the headset. So visual communication can sometimes be a bit of an issue. If you're playing people internationally, for example, the quality of the internet connection can't always be guaranteed, and therefore being able to communicate clearly with your opponent is super important. I know some individuals use the built-in microphone on the webcam, but I choose to use a USB headset just to improve the quality of the sound there. It can be particularly useful, because sometimes if you've got a bit of a blurry image, if your opponent can ask, sort of say, what level's that Gorilla Grodd you got there in the field zone? What's the stats on that? And you can let them know. If anyone's interested, I'm using a Plantronics. This is a Blackwire 500 series that may or may not have been acquired from my previous employer, and sometime later now they're still yet to ask for it back, so it's getting some good use. Otherwise, it's just my general sort of gaming detritus then that you would have if you were playing down at the store. I've got my dice tower, my dice bag, I've got my tokens and whatnot. This is spare basic action dice, so that if I choose to buy one of my opponent's basic action dice, I can sub one of these in. But that setup is pretty standard. Even if you were down at the game store, you'd have your little kind of bits and bobs tin, I imagine. your basic action color indicators, your dice tower or your dice tray, whatever you choose to use, etc., etc. I will just take a moment's pause, because some may be like, what's going on with that iPad there? So because I'm using a laptop and it's on the dining room table, having a large second monitor for use isn't particularly convenient, so I'm just using an app on my iPad there to have an extended desktop available. That's not necessary for online play. That's there for me to keep an eye on audio, sound volumes, sound quality. In fact, it's picking me up there. You can see the bar going. Video footage for when we record our gameplay for posting on the channel. It's also back in the days when we used to live stream, where I would put the chat so I could see what the live viewers were saying in the chat screen. So there we are, folks. That is, I don't think there's anything else. I'm just casting my eye around. That is all that's really needed to get yourself up and running. Some form of internet connection through some form of screen-based techie thing so that you can see the video call. A location with good light or, extra lighting that you've sourced. A webcam that can show your playmat to your opponent, and then some means of mounting that webcam over the top of your playmat. And, if you have a look on Amazon, you can see all sorts of these kind of stands, clip ones that clip to the side of the desk, etc., etc. All right, so there's a little look at the setup in its entirety. Let's move on to talk about some of the elements in more detail. Okay then, folks. So most online players make use of the Google Hangout embedded Hangout rooms that are on the Dice Coalition, Dice Masters North, and more recently been added to the CR Game Room website. So I'm just on the Dice Coalition here, and I'll just show how this is just how me and Andy get together, and how I get together with many other online players. So you go to dicecoalition.com or dm-north.com or crgr.rocks to go and find yourself once you've found yourself someone to play against. I'm going to then hit the community tab here, go to online play, select the room that I've agreed with my partner and that I'm going to be competing against, and then head on into the room. It takes me automatically into... Oh, hello! Oh, I didn't do my hair. Join the Hangout. And who's this? Hello?
Hello.
Who's this? I now have an opponent to play Dice Masters with online. Although I've done an epic fail, mate, because as you can see, it's on my webcam. I've not got it pointing at my map.
I can see you.
Like a numpty. Hello. I just said there to the viewers, I've not done my hair.
Oh dear.
Before I flicked over and they got a big shot of me suddenly. Oh well, they'll get over it.
And that's how easy it is.
That's how easy it is, yeah. Just jumped into room 2. Like I say, that's the Dice Coalition Hangout rooms, but there's some on DM North, there's some on Chris and Rob's Game Rooms website. So once you've sourced yourself an opponent, hooked up with a mate, or found someone on... Oh, there he is! Found someone on Facebook or Discord to play with, you just jump in here, and this is how we do it, yeah. This is how we do it. Get your full screen going. Ta-da! And you're away. And as you can see on the table there, there's Andy's Guardians of the Galaxy single affiliation team that he kicked my ass with when we played casually last week and recorded it. And in fact, the gameplay video is already up. So there you go. I think that concludes our little setup and behind the scenes look at how we play Dice Masters Online, my good man.
I think it does.
Yeah. All right then, folks. Well, I hope you found that useful. Do the whole thing with the thing, the stuff that you're supposed to do that us YouTubers like. Put a comment in the comments below.
Nice.
Yeah, although I'm just, for the viewers, I'm just a little box in the corner. Hang on, wait a minute. Be sure to put a comment in the comments below. I'll go back to your playmat. That's more Dice Masters relevant. And yeah, I'll keep an eye out for future and now for something else videos from us. Bye, Andy.
Bye.
Bye, listeners.